Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's 2022 Tournament Game 4, where we are playing Nazca. This is turn 68, and I think a little bit more happens this turn than last turn, so let's jump into it. We got a little bit to cover. So, kind of kicking things off, we hacked some research. Alteration 7 completed, and immediately beyond that, Thaumaturgy 5. So, finally playing a little bit of catch-up. Alteration 7 gets us access to a number of goodies, namely, I believe, mass protection, right? So mass protection isn't exactly fantastic at this point in the game. It's a far cry below Army of Gold or Lead, which I think most everyone else has at this point, right? However, it is enough to kind of like get us competitive. And then Fog Warriors, obviously, is kind of like a staple situation of, if you don't have Fog Warriors in your big late-game fights, you're probably about to get chopped to shit back. So, having both of those now is pretty nice. And then we snagged Thaumaturgy 5 for a number of different reasons. It does give us a bunch of different goodies, but the main goodies are Gateway, right, which is important for us to be able to move around the portions of our empire quickly in case we have to reinforce somewhere, and Soul Slave. So, other stuff, we've got interesting bits, but that is what we're going for. We're gonna be running up enchantment now, up to enchantment 7 at least, to grab Serpent's Blessing. We may go further than that. We also get things like Life After Death, quite useful for us. Some other things here are going to be good for us, but really Serpent's Blessing is what we're going for. Life After Death is a nice aside as well. And then after that, we might be running up a Blood Magic. This is tentative. I'm not really sure. I may or may not, obviously I may or may not change this, but this one feels like it's a very like questionable on whether or not we will do this. Because I do think immediate bang for our buck, more enchantment or more alteration is going to be better. Increased blood is more of a long con kind of scenario, getting into vampires, basically. So we just had this as kind of like a tentative concept. This is going to take us 2 turns to do enchantment 7 anyways, though, so boy, howdy. We went to Wingstop today, so I don't even know if y'all can hear that, but I can hear that. We went to Casey went to Wingstop today, sorry. And Odie loves Wingstop bags, so he's over there just like going crazy. He's right outside the camera. He's like over there. So.
I like chicken.
Yeah, he loves them. Anyways, moving on. So, we are going back to this stuff. So that's the research for the turn. Pretty important stuff. And we're happy to be making some good progress there. What else do we got? We've done quite a bit of summoning. We did a whole bunch of Revived Kings last turn. A couple of our regular summons, and we did a single Augury, which found nothing, which is not really unexpected. We got a couple of battles to watch. Ulm v Arcos Fale, and then looks like a little bump here. Maybe a lack of coordination. So let's see what's up. Arco attacking Ulm in the Darkwoods. And this is kind of like quintessential Arcos Fale, right? Like, these guys, these little hoplites are perfectly serviceable units. Protection 18. They have a little Sermon of Courage caster here, which is interesting. Just to make them a little more morale acceptable, and that's kind of a fun little low cost raiding party, right? I say low cost, but this is, this is kind of in the same vein as like a Ulmish raiding party, right? Like just throwing some black plate at a province. Ulm tends to have a little more punch packed. So I say this is low investment, but these 20 hoplites are 13 gold apiece. So that's 260 gold. on just the hoplites, and this Archusa is 165 gold. So, I mean, losing this, which would be really, really easy, mind you, right? Is not insubstantial. So this is an interesting little raid. This is a raid of confidence, it feels like. And then there is a battle in Florian, where Ulm is attacking Arco. And Ulm has the quintessential Ulmish thing, bunch of black plates, got some flails, got a Master Smith here to buff them all up, and is up against just PD. So this does seem like maybe Ulm and Vanheim not coordinating, because Van comes in immediately afterwards and does a little bump. Let's see how that goes. Van is in here. Ooh, yeah. Okay, this is sketch. Van is in here with some Einherjar, with a Shaman, a Dwarven Smith, and on the side, a Van Jarl, a decent little kit. This is going to be a problem. Body Ethereal, Summon Earth Power. We know over on the Ulmish sides, he's doing Legions of Steel and probably Strength of Giants. Body Ethereal, Marble Warriors, interesting. We got a flight coming out. More Body Ethereal. So we're getting little pings of Body Ethereal going off. And with Marble Warriors, these guys are actually kind of a problem. So 25 protection. Now, the Black Plate Infantry hit pretty damn hard, so they will be able to get through 25 protection, but, you know, the Einherjars also hit hard. And actually, it's unlikely that they'll get through and insta-kill an Einherjar, because the Einherjars have so much... Einherjars are so goddamn... Why are Einherjars so good? Like, I'm pretty sure if we... I'm sure people have already done it, right? Unit comparisons, or like a general unit comparison. But if you like took the stats of, 50 common units in the Middle Age, right? And you put an Einherjar up to it, and compared it pound for pound, I feel like Einherjars are really good. Oh, they have 15 points because of the Gift of Health, but they still have a base of 12. 12 being higher than most. I guess technically they're elvish. I say higher than most. These guys have 12. Maybe I'm a liar. Maybe I'm a liar. It doesn't matter. The Van Jarl is in the back killing people. And I think the Black Plate lose to the Einherjars anyways. Because as soon as a Black Plate hits an Einherjar, that Einherjar isn't going to die, most likely, because the flail's probably not going to kill them. And when that flail doesn't kill him, they're going to Berserk 5. And that Berserk 5 Einherjar is going to mulch. Going to take basically no damage, and then it's going to mulch a bunch of Black Plate. Yeah. He loses nothing. Which doesn't seem right, because I thought we saw one of them die. One of the Einherjars die in the conflict. Let's check. Maybe it was one of the Black Plates. See, they get some hits in, and these guys immediately berserk. Well, this one didn't berserk. What? This guy immediately berserks, and he goes fucking crazy. And now he's gonna chop the shit out of people. Chop, chop. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. No, the Black Plate got no kills in that immediate exchange. Okay. Is what it is. That's pretty interesting stuff to watch. Unfortunate bump, right? If you are if you are fighting with allies. In fairness, at this point, I don't know how allied Ulm and Vanheim are, right? Compared to just fighting the same person, right? So, but if you're fighting the same person, it pays to be communicative. It pays to open communication and avoid shit like this, right? Although, maybe there was communication and someone took liberties. Who knows, right? Anyways, unexpected events. A handful of magic gems were found under huge rocks, so we got some earth gems. New trade routes have been opened. Province income up in mark. And then the local merchants guild has erected a glorious symbol in the honor of Odysseus, the evening star, Mr. Rattleboy himself. Yeah, no, he has been asleep. He has been not doing anything for the past 2 hours, probably. And as soon as I start recording, he's like, "Oh, but Papa, bag, bag." Anyways, we got a temple in the province, but we lost tax. This is actually, I think, a great trade. We're not getting a lot of tax in Satrandith anyways, and we want to put a temple anywhere we have a fort, generally speaking. And we just got a fort up in Satrandith, so we don't have to pay for the temple. That's fantastic. That is dope. Very happy. So, events for the turn, 0 negative, 3 positive. We got mark income plus 10, Satrandith tax minus 100%, plus 1 temple, and earth gems plus 6. So, pretty nice. Pretty decent little exchange there. Okay. After that, we actually have 2 worldwide events. We have a luck plus 1 event throughout the world. And then we have the arena. So, we are going to watch through the arena. Everyone sent something in, it looks like. Or it looks like most everyone sent something in. Arco sends in Leroy the Sleeper, who has an eye of aiming and is throwing his javelin of flight, which is actually not a horrible tactic. This thing has, with the eye of sleeping, it has very high precision, has pretty decent range. It hits fairly hard. It's magical. That absolutely could do... Dude! Holy shit! I say that, but Ulm sent in a fucking djinn. Holy fuck. Alright then. Well, let's see how this goes. Miss. Djinn goes up. Djinn comes down. Ooh, immediately just slaps the sleeper in the face. Youch. Youch, youch, youch. Djinn is kind of scary. Okay, so Ulm takes that one. Ulm then fights against Vanarus. We've seen the Djinn. Nice little kit. See the Djinn up against Kalev. I think this is one of their national heroes, I think. He says the Cursed Blade. Holy shit. He has a Frostbrand. He's got a Dancing Trident. He's got Quickness Boots. Oh, fuck. Okay. He is berserking. Alright, what's gonna happen? What else did he have? Okay, no. He's just got a bunch of attacks. Bunch of attacks versus not bunch of attacks. But he is gonna have a hard time. Because he doesn't have, like, True Sight or anything. Or whatever it is. So he's gonna have a hard time actually hitting the Djinn. Okay. Djinn goes up. Djinn comes down and immediately smacks the shit out of the giant. Giant does hit back. Not for much, though. Ooh, hits him again. Okay, okay. Yo! What a fucking turnaround! Holy shit. Unfortunately, the Giant's, like, got his ass beat after that. Holy fuck. That last round, the Curse Blade hit for 28 points of damage. Frostbrand hit for 18. Oof. Damn. 28 points of damage. That is obscene. Alright then. Okay. Vanheim against Vanarus. We've got a Vanyarl with a Greatsword of Sharpness and a Dream versus the Noble Giant. Now, if it was straight up, the Noble Giant would easily, I think, win. But the Noble Giant only has 10 HP. He's got 1 hit left. So he does it. He does it! Insta-kills. Alright. And then there was us, as reigning champions. Hughlek, the werewolf, enters into the arena. And unfortunately, I think in this instance, the Noble Giant is a little beat up. But he does have Lucky. So that is a concern. Over here, we've got our werewolf, who has a Smasher, who has a Scrutable Turnus, is really the thing. He's got a Champion's Helmet, he's got Awe, he's got pretty damn high defense. So we've got that going on. Fingers crossed. That moment where they're all like, ah! Okay. Ooh! Ow! Okay, he did immediately hit me. Did he cut off an arm? Holy shit. Ah, Curse Blade. Oh, he cut off a leg. Damage exceeded maximum possible to hit area, reduced to 11 points. Holy shit. 21. Would that have killed me? No, that would have left me at 1 HP. If the full damage had gone through. Oh no, sorry, it would have left me at 2 HP. Holy fuck. And then we Shocking Grasp for 20. Damn. That did not care about our defense at all. Awe had no effect. Morale 43. Yeah, okay. Attack roll 30 versus defense roll 36? Huh? A little confused there. Like, it's not telling us what the ultimate final number is, I think. Right? Because, like, otherwise, an attack of 30 should not hit a defense of 36. You know what? It's actually been a really, really long time since I've delved into the numbers of Dominions and sat here and been like, oh, this hit, this much, blah, 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 etc., etc. But this feels weird to me. Like, I don't know why it's saying attack roll 30 versus defense roll 36 was a hit. I don't know. It is what it is. Okay. Sir, that is that. We get a Shocking Grasp victory. That feels a little cheap, honestly. It feels a little cheap. I think that giant would absolutely have killed us. The Noble Giant would absolutely have killed us if it was at full HP. But it was not. It had to run the gauntlet to get to the champion, and the champion yet lives. Congratulations to... for an arena win, Hughlek, 1 win, 0 losses. Still the champion. We gained the Champion's Trident, which I think is kind of overkill considering we already have Luck basically built in because of the champion's helmet. But it is what it is. That was fun. We foresee a major event in 3 turns. The stars are right for thaumaturgy. There is a battle in Duspris that we witness as Pelagia is attacked by some Soul Torn. Holy shit. Ooh, he's probably going to lose too because there's not very much PD here. Soul Torn are not that bad to deal with, but if you've not got much going on, they will absolutely fuck it up. And then we found an Atavi Chieftain. So, patrolling starting to do what we need it to do. Awesome. Fantastic. What is our plan now? Question mark. Well, we still don't remember our gateway. I think that's next turn. we still don't remember. But the rest of this turn is mostly just maneuvering, right? Continuing to produce a lot of Hut and Runa. We're continuing to maneuver stacks all over the place. Trying to get our patrolling up in every location that we can. We continue to do this whole song and dance, which has become an eternal slog. I regret it almost completely. But like I'm pulling out people, pulling new people in, etc., etc. So a lot of stuff going on there. But we are basically building up large quantities of very experienced Sacred Flyers, which may or may not matter in the long run. We'll see how it goes. In terms of news from the overall game, we can see, right, like, Ulm is fighting into Arco. Vanheim is fighting into Arco and Vanarus. But there's a lot of back and forth. Like, we're unfortunately, we're not seeing everything yet. I'm still trying to get scouts out into the areas. But there's a lot of back and forth going. All Arco and Vanarus both are putting up good fights. Arco's actually kind of wailing on some people here or there. Arco is being very punitive, almost to the point of being of winning potentially, right? So I think it's at a current point to where if it was just Arco versus Ulm, I think Arco would potentially win. At least for now, because Ulm lost so much in the Throne Rush. If it's just Arco versus Vanheim, I think that's still a little close, but I think Arco would be doing really, really well. I think could be a toss-up at that point, right? But it's not Arco, just Arco versus Ulm, or just Arco versus Vanheim. It's Arco versus Ulm and Vanheim, and then Vanheim versus Vanarus, right? So, like, it is a split scenario. I think Arcosfalia is giving a great accord of themselves, and I want to get over there to kind of, like, view more of the things. But it does seem like it might be one of those scenarios of, like, it's only tenable for so long, right? Potentially a while, but only so long. So, that is mostly the long and short of it. Aside from that, we are just continuing to prep. It's turn 68. We are hitting research goals. We're finally hitting research goals. And in another, again, I think we're aiming at like turn 80 or so, unless our hand is forced earlier. By that point, I think we're going to have all of the research that we really, really care about, and we're potentially going to be able to just flood Pelagia. So we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about specific mechanics for the turn. We've got recruitment. Recruitment across the board a little bit here or there. Recruitment, 2 Runankas, 1 Akla, 1 Huron Priest, 1 Hydromancer, and 6 Sun Guard. Not a crazy amount of recruitment. Again, we are suffering from a horrible, horrible economy. Honestly, I probably should not be spending all of this money on scouts, but I really want to see what's going on in the rest of the world, because there's action in the rest of the world. So trying to get eyes on the rest of the world is still just fun for me, whether it's super effective or not. And all the rest of it is normal stuff that I don't think we need to talk about at any great length. Aside from that, we have Nazcan recruits. We are up to 58 Haten Runa this turn. 130 Long Dead Warriors this turn. So slowly but surely increasing. We have 16 recalled Supaya this turn. And 1 summoned Supaya for 7 Supaya. So a total of 23 Supaya this turn. We're getting up there. And then we still have the 1 summoned Huaka for 7 Huakas. And as you can kind of see... Do I have... Yeah, so I have this stack moving out. This is kind of like what's happening every turn, right? Every turn we're getting 5 or 6 Sun Guard, we're getting 7 Huakas, and we're getting like a stack of 23 Supayas. And that adds up. That abso-fucking-lutely adds up. We have a massive stack here of what do we have? I think we're approaching like 200. Yeah, I think we're approaching 200 Supaya. We've got, I think, close to 100 Huakas at this point, and then a pretty big stack of Sun Guard and Condors and things like that. So that's pretty cool. We're getting closer and closer to that point. I think that thread where it's like, oh, you've got a lot of power that you can kind of spread around. Goal is still like 30 to 40 Supayas per turn, right? If we can hit that goal as we go towards that kind of like 80 mark, and if we can get to the 200, 250 plus goal on the Long Dead, right? Then I think going after Pelagia, along with all of the other stuff that we're prepping is absolutely something that I think we can accomplish. In theory, right? Aside from that, we have special recruits. We have the 1 Direwolf and 1 Dustwalker for the turn. Continuing onwards with that. I don't know that it's ever going to matter. I say I don't know that it's ever going to matter, but didn't we actually see... Yeah, we found this... this scout with these Direwolves. Honestly. So there's that. I don't know that we'll ever actually make use of these Dustwalkers. I don't know that we'll ever have enough for it to matter, and I don't know that even if we had, like, 50 of these guys, that it would be a big deal, right? Like, I guess if we fought against Ulm, and we marched this stack out and put it on the front line, right? Ulm might be like, what the fuck? Right? And be like, okay, I gotta make sure I can chop through the Dustwalkers and not get heat fatigued out, I suppose. But it's only heat 3, so it's like, at this point, Ulm absolutely can do, you know, what is it, Warriors of Niflheim or Firefend. So, I don't know. These guys are cool, but I just don't think it matters. I wish you could get more of them. I wish there was some way to upgrade the sites, or some way of, like, you know, putting more than one mage in, right? Into a site. Be like, hey, I want to put 10 mages in there. I want to be getting 10 of these a turn, right? Because that's still going to cost you 10 mage turns, or 10 mages per turn, right? So, it just is what it is. But, anyways. Moving on, we've got some rituals for the turn. Nothing crazy. We have 1 Augury, 1 Revive King, 1 Vile Water, and 1 Transformation. So, that is kind of a little fun thing. Most of that is whatever, no big deal. Augury still finishing out little spots throughout our empire. Revive King. Again, we've talked about the Revive Kings. We're just popping up kings across our, again, empire to lead Long Dead. The Vile Water, little thing to spend some water gems on here or there to give us some little combat tricks. The Transformation is just a fun side project. So we now have Echidna, our Naiad, who is a Water 3, Nature 3. This is pretty useful for us. And this I think it's actually kind of sad. The Naiads actually have a really nice spread of traits and everything like that, but they also come with homesickness 10, so they lose 10% of their HP every month that they are away from their home province until they die or get back to their home province. So you can work around that. It just can be a pain in the ass. So rather than do that, we cast Transform to get her a new chassis that doesn't have homesickness. And since we have luck 3, we could luck into some really nice chassis. So this costs 8 nature gems per turn per cast. So we only have an income of 9 nature gems, which is really kind of shitty at this point in the game, unfortunately. We're really weird. Like, we have an abysmal fire income and a pretty trash nature income, but a lot of the rest of the stuff we're doing pretty solid on. It's just very strange. I normally have so much nature. Normally I'm just fucking rolling in nature, but not this time. So this is probably not the best use of our gems, but it's also a fun side project to just kind of keep me occupied. And we might do this a couple times until we get a really nice chassis, or we might just do it once and be like, yo, that's fine, we're not going to spend more gems. We might do it once and get an amazing chassis, right? We might just be like, oh, holy shit, Etten, right off the bat, or something, you know, whatever the case is. So we'll see. But yeah, that's what's gonna happen. What do we got? Ultimate Gateway losses this turn. We have 6 Astral lost and 4 Death lost. That's our kind of like baseline loss from our Summon Huakas and Summon Supayas. We got that going on. I swear we will use the Ultimate Gateway eventually. I promise. I absolutely promise. And then we have Forging. Forging for the turn. We have 1 Lightless Lantern, 1 Water Lens, 1 Dwarven Hammer, 2 Skull Mentors, 2 Amulets of the Dead, 1 Ring of Water Breathing, and 1 Water Bracelet. So no big surprises on that particular front. We've talked at length about all of those, I believe. Lightless Lantern, Skull Mentors, we're just trying to push our research up to that point of 1500. And then beyond, right? But 1500's the immediate goal, and we're getting there. We're getting really close. Along with the Akla, the Huron Priest, the 2 Skull Mentors, and the Lightless Lantern, we're going to be almost there next turn, depending on how many mages we have moving around, doing what, etc., etc. So that's good, right? We want to hit that 1500 mark because that's, I feel like, the minimum that we'll need to hit what we want by turn 80. But we're going to keep pushing past and try to get to that 2000 mark because that's going to give us extra goodies by the time we get to turn 80, right? As that kind of that abstract goal in the future, right? Water lenses, water bracelets, just continuing to create gear for our Hydromancers in anticipation of war with Pelagia. Dwarven Hammer, just continuing to try to smooth out our curve and create some efficiencies. Although it's getting late game, I do expect this game to go pretty late, right? Everyone after Ohm's Throne Rush, everyone is very, very on edge about the thrones. So I don't think Vanheim or maybe Arco are really going to have an opportunity to throne rush, and I don't think Pelagia's tried to grab thrones over and over again throughout the game. I don't think that they're going to just suddenly pop off, but we'll see. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about a throne rush anytime soon, and that means someone has to just get big and start winning and eventually get to the point to where they can't be beaten. I think Vanheim is probably that person. I think we are too far behind the race to catch up, but I think we're gonna give it a college try, right? Give it the good old college try, and see how it goes. But that is to say that I think investing in Dwarven Hammers, right, which they cost 15. Unless you're using a Dwarven Hammer, in which case they cost 13, right? Which we are. and then they save 2 gems per use. So it takes 7 uses to actually see a positive savings, right? Because you're investing in that scenario. And I definitely think we're gonna be using these basically every single turn for the rest of the game. We're absolutely gonna have 7 more turns. We're gonna have 20 more turns. We might have 50 more turns, right? So at that point, investing now, I think, is absolutely worthwhile, and we're probably going to continue to do that until we get to the point to where we're around 10 or 15 hammers, right? 10 or 15 hammers, I think, for us is enough to do things and be efficient without having to go crazy overboard. And then Amulets of the Dead. We talked about this. We talked about this at length in the last video. It's 2 more per Amulet of the Dead for our Malqui priests reanimating long dead. That stacks up each turn for each additional Malqui that has one, and then each turn stacking together adds for quite a bit of additional long dead over the course of 1 turn, right? Depending on how many Malqui priests you have with them. But say 10 turns, it's a crap ton. It's a metric shit ton, and well worth, I think, the 3 death gems that we invest into it, right? So obviously this isn't going to be something that we're going to be doing forever. We just need to get 1 on every Malqui priest, and then as we get more Malqui priests, we're like, okay, we need another 2. Okay, we need another 2. Okay, we don't need any for several turns. Okay, we need another 4, because some Huron priests died or whatever. I don't know. Right? So, we're gonna be doing this until we get everyone up to snuff, and then go from there. And then the Ring of Water Breathing, again, just continuously setting aside or prepping for that eventual war with Pelagia, which is the anticipated move, but we'll see, because things might change before we get a chance to get there. So, anything else to really talk about? Oh, we're sending some blood slaves to Ulm. I don't have this on here. In a momento. I forgot about this. Outgoing trade. So, outgoing trade for the turn, we have 100 blood going to Ulm. And I don't remember off the top of my head what we're actually getting for this. I think we're getting money, maybe? I don't remember. Or it might be more lightless lanterns incoming or something like that. We made some sort of agreement. I don't remember exactly what it is. We'll see in the next videos. I don't know if it's next video or the video after that, but we'll see. But yeah, we're sitting on a income, a strange blood income that we're really not doing anything with. So kind of just anticipating throwing that out there, trying to use what we have to give us some power and response. It's also kind of one of those moments of like, Ulm is important for us, right? We have shown over and over again, or Ulm has shown over and over again, that they are willing to be an ally. They did try to win the game, obviously, right? But they didn't try to knife us to win the game. So that's fine, it's fair. But we need a strong Ulm. Because if Ulm is weak, then in this situation, right, like Arco rolls over Ulm, and then we have a massive, strong Arco that is fighting against a Vanheim, and probably a bigger Vanheim, because Vanheim's not just going to let that happen. As Ulm starts to lose, Vanheim will start to take their territory, so that means taking things like Ashdod and Agartha, which could cause a war with us if we're like, no, we don't want you to have that, or Ulm calls us in and be like, yo, take my shit before Van does, or something like that. So we don't like any of those options, so we want a strong Ulm to be able to resist Arco, to be able to resist Vanheim, etc., etc. While we, right, because Ulm is very important for the balance of power in the world right now. If they're weak, if they're not able to, break into blood and start producing demons, or they're not able to do whatever they need to do to get stronger, then the world begins to collapse in favor of someone else faster, right? Whether that's Arco, whether that's Vanheim, whether that's Pelagia, whether that's Vanderroos, who the fuck knows, right? But that means that we have less time to prepare our assault and try to do this, because we're trying to do the same thing, right? Like, we're trying to let the rest of the world over here do their thing, and kind of like, well, it's fine, and then we just go hit Pelagia with a brick, basically, and we're like, yay, give us your shit. And then if we are successful in doing that, whether we are successful in just doing if we get a little bit of Pelagia versus a lot of bit of Pelagia versus all of Pelagia, each of those still has prospective payouts that allow us to flex into different situations. So I don't remember, again, this just goes to say I don't remember exactly what we are doing with those or what we are getting for those 100 blood slaves, but I do believe we're getting something. We're not just giving them away for free, but even if we were, I actually am not 100% against that concept, because, again, I want Ulm to be strong. I want Ulm to be able to produce those types of things and be a strong pillar, a strong force for keeping all of this going. So, all right, that's it, I think, for the turn. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for more Nazca. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.